Hi, welcome back to the shed for episode 11 of the Johnny Ramone guitar build, and this time we're going to try and get the body into paint.
1, 2, 3, 4!
However, after the last episode, I still had a few catching up jobs to do. The first of those was to make a new pick guard out of the correct material and with the right spacing on the bridge pickup. So I started off just by marking it all out. Dropped onto the bandsaw and kind of rough shaped it. Then brought it back onto the bench and shaped it with the router to the template. I then had to very carefully kind of mark up and cut out for the pickups. But we all seem to have gone very well, and then once we'd put it all back together again and slipped it into the body, as you can see, I think it looks really good. Following this, it was time to start on the mammoth job of getting everything sanded. It took quite a long time with the orbital sander, going through the grits. With the front and back done, it was then time to go around the edge by hand using a little round block, again working my way through the grits, and then finally just doing the radiuses around the edge of the body by hand. The last little job that I wanted to do was fill the two little holes that I drilled for the pickup wires, which were then replaced by the routes that go from the pickup cavities through into the control cavity. So I just created some little dowels, glued those in place, and then gave them a bit of a trim down with a chisel. And there, after what was in fact quite a monumental amount of sanding, we actually have the body all nicely sanded up and ready to go. Now normally at this stage I'd be breaking out some grain filler and started to kind of smear it liberally all over the body to kind of fill in any little voids in the grain that will make the paint sink into the wood and leave an uneven finish. But as I've been sanding this, I kind of looked at it and thought, you know what? That looks closer to maple than any other wood I've made a guitar body out of, and one of the great characteristics of maple is that it's so tightly grained that you don't need to grain fill it. So on the back of that I did a little bit of research, and lo and behold, basswood has a very similar grain structure to maple. It's obviously a lot less dense and a lot less heavy, but it is very tightly grained. So I've been reliably informed that you don't actually need to do any grain filling on this species, which is absolutely brilliant because we've got a couple of more little jobs to do and we can get this straight over to the painting bay and get it painted. And I have to say I'm very happy with the way it's sanded up. It looks really nice and it's taken on a very nice smooth feel. Obviously on this build, finish quality isn't of paramount importance. We're going to scrape a lot of the paint off and we don't want a super glossy finish anyway. But I think it is important to kind of get a nice smooth finish to start from that's well adhered to the body, and I think we're pretty much there on that. In terms of what I need to do before I can get it over to the paint bay, I want to fasten in the little ferrules that go in the back of here so that I can paint those at the same time as everything else. And I want to make sure that they actually stay in as well. I don't see any kind of need for them to ever come out again. So in an attempt to make that happen, I'm just going to kind of scuff them up a little bit with a bit of relatively kind of rough paper. Just to take that kind of shiny glossy finish off, and then I'll just super glue them in place. And I don't know how well you can see there, but I've actually chucked these up in the drill to kind of sand them on the sides. And I've also just given them a quick squirt with some grey etch primer, which hopefully will help the paint adhere to the bits inside that I weren't really able to sand that much. And with that done, I'm literally just going to kind of stick a bit of super glue in the bottom of there, drop that in place, and then just fill up that void around it. And hopefully not get too much glue into the inside face of there. And we'll just give that glue a few minutes to dry up, and we can give that a bit of a sand off. And that all seems to have dried nicely. It's super hot in the workshop today, which is a great day for painting. It's nice and dry as well, so hopefully that means we can get this done quite quickly. And I think for speed I'll just run over this with the sander again and get that flushed back down. And with that quickly flattened off again, I can get this screwed onto my little painting stick. Now I've deliberately gone for a screw with a much smaller head than the bolt that I'm going to actually attach the neck with, so we should be able to kind of cover up any unpainted areas once we get those in position. And that's the body set up in the paint booth. So it's now just a case of getting a little bit of this paint mixed up. And as I said in a previous episode, I've gone for Arctic White for this build because Johnny's guitar did appear to remain very white kind of right throughout its life. So I'm hoping this will give a good kind of representation of that. I did kind of suggest that because it had stayed so white, it might not have been a nitro finish because it didn't appear to have yellowed at all. Now some people did comment that it isn't the paint that yellows so much, it's the lacquer that goes over the top of it, which is true. I take that point on board. However, in my experience, just kind of white guitars that aren't over lacquered, which tends to be the case in like Fenders and stuff, still kind of do tend to yellow. a little bit over time. Who knows? The actual guitar in question was refinished before Johnny got hold of it. So I think the simple answer is we will never know. Right, just get some of this in there. I'm just going to mix one batch up. I'm going to give this about 3 or 4 coats. No point going too mad because we're going to sand an awful lot of it off again. And it's quite a hot, dry day here, and we're using a solid colour, so I really don't see any need for kind of any special anti-bloom thinners or anything like that. So I'm just going with standard thinner for this one. Okay, let's get the first coat laid down. Okay, I've left that for about an hour to dry up while I've just had a spot of lunch. And I must say, for the first coat, that has covered beautifully, but it has raised the grain a little bit. It hasn't sunk into the grain at all, but there's some little fluffy bits that have been raised up. So I've got some 400 wet and dry paper, and I'm just going to kind of very gently kind of go around and just take those little kind of nibs of raised grain off. And with that done, we can give it a quick blow off and get the second coat on. But I must say, it is already starting to look very much the part. And there we have it all painted up, and the pick guard just dropped in place to give a demonstration of what it's going to look like. And I think that looks absolutely spot on. I've kind of tried not to put the paint on in too thick a coat so it kind of isn't too glossy at the moment, and I think that's kind of just about the right level. You can see the grain through it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Now, I already know what some of you are going to say. And no, I'm not going to leave it like this. It is definitely getting relicked. I think the whole point of this build was to get something as close to the original guitar as possible. So I'm not going to leave it like this. So a lot of this is going to get kind of rubbed off and chipped up, etc. But I can't do that just yet because it is still far, far too soft. So it's going to have to be left for a kind of little while to dry up and harden a little bit. And while we're doing that, we can move back onto the neck and start to make some progress on that. However, that is obviously going to be for an upcoming episode. I'm going to leave this one right here. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this. If so, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.